Hi there. So the purpose of the call today that I'm recording is just to give you a better understanding of what URG offers. Obviously, everybody that has heard of URG knows that we work with the salvage yard, but I really want to give you a better idea, aside from having to cipher through some information, get a better visual understanding of kind of what we do and what we offer. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. You're going to see a lot of information today. That's what I'm here for. Please don't be overwhelmed by anything I send over, but please do reach out with any questions. I'm happy to kind of go through it all with you guys, and we can also go through this again. The screen that you see right now is going to be the URG portal. So whenever somebody tells me that they're interested in URG, I go through all of the different benefits that we offer. Like I said, we do have a lot to kind of go through today, but I'll try to make it as quick as possible. And then we'll go from there. So I'm going to teach you as if you're a new member for us. We do have quite a bit of offerings over here on the left-hand side. You won't have to worry about that. If you decide to join, you will have certain different offers here, and I'll go through each of them with you as well. So the first thing I want to highlight is our training videos. So every year URG does have an annual training conference. We do industry experts as well as progressive recyclers come and they speak. This past year it was in St. Louis and we did have over 1,000 attendees. So it's a really great networking event. We really like to highlight that, especially to our newer yards who maybe don't know, other yards in the area or even want to just get a better understanding of what processes work great. We do record a couple of sessions every year from that conference, and then we post them here after the fact for our members to view. So I highly recommend checking that out because there's so much good content, and that's something that you would have access to once you decided to join. But like I said, really great content there. The tab that I'm on right now is our store maintenance tab. This is going to show you or shows us really any contact information for the salvage yard. It gives us their contact details with their location, and then it kind of gives us a highlight of what programs they're using. So there's two programs I want to talk about on this page, one being the NSVRP recall program in our VRSS account. So the NSVRP recall program is going to be the government reporting recalls. So what this does is we download an F key onto your computer. Whenever you're in your yard management system on a VEN, you can hit that F key. It'll tell you if there's any open recalls. And if our core buyer RAS is purchasing any of those recalled airbags or any of those parts, it'll let you know. Really great for the people that are inventorying the parts because it really helps them kind of make sure that no, inventoried parts that are getting into your system are getting sold. You're kind of stopping it there. The other one is our VRSS account. So this one is through Carfax. This one takes out the manual process of having to look up those recalls. What this one does is it will automatically send you an email if it finds any open recalls in your system. And I'll show you what that looks like. It's actually going to be on the left-hand side here. We're going to go to the recall tab. And then we'll go to the VRSS batch. So from here, it'll show you all of the open recalls that's found in your system. You can expand it. It'll give you the details of the different parts, the date that it was found, and then the latest recall as well. If you're going through this, you can export this as a Excel document. If you want to print it off, kind of go through it with your guys or girls, feel free to check them off the list and complete, and then it'll remove it from this list. The next thing I want to go through is our URGNet Control Center. So this is really big for our recyclers. Obviously, having up-to-date inventory on any e-commerce site is going to be important, whether you're feeding it to, like I said, e-commerce, whether you're feeding it to a core buyer, whether you're feeding it to an insurance and body shop, you want to make sure that your data is up to date and you know what information is going to those companies. So we make sure that, one, your inventory is up to date, two, that you know exactly what data is being sent. So you can click here at any time and see all of the fields that are being submitted to these companies. We won't authorize any companies without your permission. So you have the ability to come in here and select any of the companies that you see fit or that you want to work with. I know when I was talking to you guys, some of the interested feeds were some insurance and body shop platforms. I know maybe that's not something you do right now, but there are some big ones, first being CCC. You do not have to be a Pinnacle yard to utilize the CCC platform. It is free to set up an account, and then they do just take a transaction fee depending on what your yard management system is. But what it does is that we can feed your inventory to them. Once you have an account created, it'll allow you to feed those all of your inventory onto their platform. So if an insurance or body shop comes on there and they're looking for a certain part, your inventory would start showing up. Really great kind of entry level way to get your inventory out there in more areas. I could say the same for Parts Trader. Again, this one is another one very similar. They do have fees associated with it, but they do waive their fees for new URG members for the first 6 months. So if that's something that you're interested in, we can absolutely help you get set up on that. And then for the other companies on here, I just recommend kind of checking them out. We do on our website have like a breakdown of what all these companies do. So I highly just recommend, doing a little bit of research, seeing who you want to work with, and then going from there. Another thing about those two companies that I just mentioned, the CCC and the Parts Traders, we also have the ability, which you'll see here, to tier other yards inventory as your own. So if you have any secondary locations, they would show up in your local partners. That'd just be any of your other locations that you want to showcase their inventory under that main yard. Now with tier 1, this is going to be any of those yards you work with. So let's say that, Bob's Auto down the road is somebody you've worked with, you want to sell their parts. Maybe you don't have some of the inventory that they do. This will start feeding with their permission. We'll have them added and you can start selling their parts as your own with a markup. So it'll really start getting your name out there in front of those insurance and body shops. It helps you get more quotes. It helps you see more visibility. And then you also make the profit based off of the markups that you set. So highly recommend taking advantage of that as well. One other thing on this page with Parts Trader, again, they do waive that 6-month free trial. And then aside from that, we also do have an integration with them that is free to our members called Auto Quote or Auto Match. What that means is you can automatically feed your inventory to them and we can select the parts that match their quote that the insurance and body shops are requesting, and you go in and manually submit that versus we also have the automatic quote, which will automatically quote those parts for you. So it kind of takes the manual process out of that as well. Other third parties do charge for that. Ours is, like I said, included in our membership. So I'm going to keep going through here. The data exceptions report, this is going to be big for our yards, trying to make sure that their quality of parts and the grading is up to date. You can do all part types or individual part types. I will do a door here, run the report. And then you can see all of the different parts that you have in here and any flags that we have found. So it gives you your part and then your information, your comments, your grade. And then over here, it'll say URG's regrade and why. So when feeding to insurance and body shops, I'm sure you're aware, they're very particular in what they want. So for this situation, they had graded as a B, but our system found NIQ, so we would recommend a C grade. Again, this is just a report. We do not regrade it in your system. Moving on here, there's 2 reports I want to show you. This one is additional. As I mentioned before, the core program is an additional $50. However, I do think it's extremely worth it. With this program, you have the ability to do a pre-dismantle report, which I'm about to show you here. It'll give you the potential to see any cores on that vehicle, whether it's year, make, model, part type, interchange, VIN, or a stock number. And then the other report, which I'll show you here in a few minutes, will be what's actually in your system that has a core value. So I'm going to do a quick search here. And then we'll just scroll down here. So what I did was a 2013 Chevy Silverado. You can see up here, it shows me all of my different core buyers that are on this program that are looking for the parts. You can see that there's multiple different AC compressors. You just have to find the one that fits the vehicle you're looking at and then the cost next to it. So like, as you can see here, that these buyers are paying $3, this one's paying $4.50. Obviously those are very minimal, but as you go down to like the types of engines and stuff like that, that's where those bigger dollar values will be seen. Again, another example, like this one is $750. This one's $950 right there. It kind of pays for their URG bill for the month. So it really is just based off of kind of what you take advantage of. Again, I highly recommend this program. I think it's been very successful and a lot of yards have taken advantage of it. Aside from that, you can build loads in our system. So like you would select the prices and the parts that you want to submit to those individual buyers. You would click add to load, save. And then you'd go over here to this core load build, and you'll see all of the different part types or all of the different buyers that you're working with. You can click in there and it'll give you a breakdown of all of the different parts you've added, the interchange, the stock number, the dollar amount you're expecting, and then you could even come in here and put a box name if you want. So let's say that hypothetically this box was finished, you're ready to close it up, send it over to the core buyer. You would progress and send the load right here. The core buyer would get a notification that a load is coming to them, and then you were just working out the shipping with them. So again, we do not handle the shipping for you. That is something you would contact the buyers for, but they're all really great about working on that. Once you progress and send the load, it'll show up here in this core load in progress. It gives you a little breakdown of the load you've sent, what company you sent it to, how long it's been in progress, how many parts, and then your total value. You can even come in here, put your final value, check number, and close the load, and then it'll show up in the core load archive. Now, I'm not going to show anything on here based off of this yard's inventory, but I will tell you that this just gives you a better idea of like how long it takes you to get paid, any deductions, anything like that. So it's just like a little report for yourself. And then we'll go into that inventory core report. So what this report does is, like I said, it's essentially like the inventory core report, but it gives you another breakdown based off of what's actually in your system. So with this, you can put a stock number, location, age, price, or part type. And then again, it'll show you the same type of core buyers over here. We're going to do an engine search. And then as you can see, it's very similar to that last report that we ran, but it'll actually show you what's in your system. So same as your part information, all of your information there. You'll scroll over. It'll do the same columns. You can click it to highlight it, add it to load, and it'll go back in that core load box that we just showed. Now, if you have any questions for the core buyers, all of their names are clickable. It gives you all of their contact information. And then you can also output this report as well. So that's all I'm going to cover on this site itself. The next thing I want to go through with you guys is our auto part search store. Our auto part search store is e-commerce, so it auto populates to where the customer is located. You can come onto the site, do a search. And it shows you the closest yard to you that has the part that you're looking for. This is included in our membership. However, we do take a 5% transaction fee, and we cap that at $300 a month. So you'll never be charged more than $300 a month for this site. Now, with that, you do have the ability to add images to your membership. It is $25 a month. We don't cap the number of images, and we'll upload them directly for you, so you don't have to do anything additional. Like I said, that is additional cost for you, but it is up to you whether or not you want to do that. On this site, we do put all the yard's information, mileage, grade, VIN. We go through the shipping settings with you, and we do any extended warranties. If you decide to be on our core program, we add the highest core value. And then the customer can come in here, add it to a cart, check the fitment, and then we set up a PayPal for you guys. You give us the PayPal email, and then we set up the account for you to get direct payment. Like I said, we do take the 5% transaction fee after the fact to make sure that there's no returns or exchanges or anything like that. And then the customer would come on here, place the order. You would get an email notification. So that all in a nutshell is what's included in our base membership, aside from, like I mentioned, the core program was additional as well as the images. But for the most part, everything I just went through is kind of like the high level of what we have. We obviously have tons and tons of other programs that we can offer, as well as, websites. If you're looking for a new website with the search function on it and checkout functionality, we do that as well. But would love to chat with you guys. Just wanted to quickly record this so you at least had a little bit of an overview and a visual representation of kind of what we do and what we offer. But look forward to hearing from you guys.